Hey guys, so in today's video, I'm going to be taking us through the process of data cleaning. Data cleaning is one of the crucial aspects of data analysis. You need to clean your data. It is very important that you clean your data so you can get an accurate result. And data cleaning is one of the process of data analysis. So we are going to be doing data cleaning. I'm going to be taking you through the data cleaning process today, and we're going to be using the Microsoft Excel and with the use of Power Query. So if you look at the data right here, you can see that the data is quite messy. We can't even differentiate the header from the actual data itself. It's quite messy, and the first thing we want to do is to put this data in the right structure. So what I will do now is to come to my home tab here. I'm going to scroll to my data tab here. Then I'm going to come to my text to column. Note that I highlighted this part of my data. This is highlighted. That's the A column. So I'm going to click on the text to column. Then we can see that we have two options here, but I'm going to be using the first one. And if you look at my data, you can see from the preview of my data, it's still looking messy. But I'm going to click on the first one, like I said, then I'm going to click on next. Now you can see my preview. From my preview, you can see that it's already looking better. Now I'm using the tab because I want to separate this into columns. I'm not separating them with semicolons or comma. I'm using tab because I want to put them into different columns, and we don't have commas or anything, so we are going to be using tab to separate them. So I'm going to click on next. Then I'll finish this up. Now you can see that our data is well structured into different columns, as you can see, and we have our header. Now we have age, attrition, business type. So we have our data well structured. Now let's analyze this and try to fit in fit in our data. So I'm going to come to my home tab. Then from my home tab, I'll scroll to format here. Then I'll click auto fit column width. Auto fit column width, so that my data, I can see my data clearly. Everything is well fitted into their columns. So near looking like as my data, it looks much like my data is clean, but there are some basic things that we need to do using Power Query. We need to check our data type. We need to check if there are some um empty rows. We can do that in Power Query and all that. So I'm going to right click. I'm going to control A my data. Sorry, I'm going to use control A to highlight all my data. Then I'll come to my data tab here. Then I'm going to choose from table range. From table range. So we are moving to Power Query now. So it's going to load up the Power Query editor. Now it's asking me to create a table. Yes, so I'll just click OK. Then our Power Query is going to load up. Now we have our Power Query. I need to turn off some things because I'll show you later. So the first thing that I want to do is to, now this is Power Query. Power Query is where you perform some data transformation. You can do your data cleaning using Power Query. Power Query is very powerful, just like its name. So we are going to, first thing I want to do is to change the name of my the table. So I have table one, but I want to change it. So I'm going to come to this part and change it to the name that I want. So I'm going to say HR data. Then I'm going to click enter. Then you can see that my name has reflected here. Okay, this apply step. Backquery has the ability to help you record each steps that you take. So as you do your cleaning, it record each steps for you so that you can see what you're doing so far. So the next thing that I want to do here is to I'm not going to be going um deeply into explaining the Power Query interface. If you want me to do that, you can just comment in the section that just drop Power Query interface. I'll do a video where I take you through each of the tabs and columns in Power Query. But right now, we are just going to be dealing with our data cleaning. So the first thing that I want to do for this data is to check the data type. If you are an analyst, a data analyst, you will know that data type is very important. Knowing your data type is very important, and updating your data type is very, very important. Power Query automatically help you to detect your data type, but sometimes it is not usually accurate. So it is important that you check your data type and adjust it. So the first thing we want to check the data type is the age. Some you can see for the age we have 123, which to some extent is correct. Now if you drop down this, you're going to see all the data type. You have the decimal number, currency, whole number, percentage, and so on and so forth. Now if you look at this column is fill up with numbers, which is correct. You would want to say that Power Query is correct, but in my own case, I like to change it to text. Anything that any number, any columns, any field that I'm not going to be performing any calculation on during my analysis, I like to put them in text. So I'm just going to leave this as text. Replace current. Now, we can see for attrition, we have the right data type, which is ABC, because we have a yes or no options there. Then we have for business travels, we have the right data type, which is the test data type, correct? So we are going to move for daily rate. Now, daily rate, we need to perform calculation on this. So you can drop this and use whole number or currency, but let me use whole numbers for this video. Then let's move on. I can still perform my calculation using the whole number. Then I'm going to move on to department. You can see that we have our test, which is correct. Then distance from home, I'm going to leave it as 123 because I'm going to be performing some calculation on it. Then I'm going to education. I will leave it as 123 because I still want to do some groupings, and I'm going to leave it as that. Then education field is correct. Employee count, I'm going to leave it as that. Employee number, I might not necessarily leave this as number, so I can use it as text. So it simply means just like an employee ID number, so I'm going to leave it as text. Then environmental satisfaction, I'm going to leave it as number. There might be a need for me to, during my analysis, to try to add up one or two things as regarding environment satisfaction. Then the gender is correct, I'm going to leave it as text. The hourly rate, I'm going to leave it as number, whole number. Job involvement, I'm going to leave it as this whole number. Job level, correct, I'm going to leave it as whole number. Then job role, I'm going to leave it as text. Job satisfaction, I'm going to leave it as this number. Then marital status, text, I'm going to leave it as text. Then monthly income is very crucial, I'm going to leave it as text. I can either leave it as text or change it to currency. Let's change it to currency. I can either leave it as own number or currency. Then monthly rate, let's change it to currency as well. So it's replace current. Then number companies work, I'm going to leave it as number over 18 years. I'm going to leave this. I think this is supposed to be a yes or no, but let's be done with what we are doing. So I'm going to leave this as text also. I'm going to leave this as whole number, percentage, salary hike. I'm going to leave it then. Performing rate, performance rate. I'm going to leave it as numbers. Relationship status. Based on my analysis, I might want to leave it as number. Standard hours, same. I think we'll just leave the rest. Spark query actually did a good job trying to detect most of the data types. So the next data cleaning that we want to do is to check, let's do some filtering. So we want to filter our data. For instance, we want to see, for this we have different numbers, and from here you are able to determine if there is blank, because if there's a blank cell, a blank field, is just going to have a blank option at the bottom here. Then you can take it out to check. I hopefully we will see one with a blank, but I think it's all correct. So it's important that you check to filter your data. Check this out, then you can scroll. So let's just scroll. I don't think we have. There's one thing that I saw, the y. Okay, so over 18 years. So I'm going to click on here. So we have just y. I don't know why we have just y, and I don't know if the y indicates yes. These are the some of the questions that you will need to ask during your analysis. So let's just assume that this is x, this is yes, and you want to change it to yes instead of having just y. What you need to do is to come to your replace value here. So under your home tab, you see replace value. Just click on replace value, then find y. Value to find is y, then replace it with what? Yes. So you just click on okay. Everything is going to be changed to yes. So that's not another aspect of data cleaning. Like I mentioned, your steps are going to be recorded. You can see that we have our steps recorded already. So we have yes or no. Let's check to confirm if we have other options. Yes, so we have yes or no. Then we don't necessarily have empty space. You can see that this data is quite clean. There are some data that can be really messy. I think I will do a video on a very messy data that has almost empty rows and all that. The next thing you want to do is to highlight your data, then come to remove rows. It is important that you remove duplicates from your data. Then come to remove rows here and click on remove duplicates. So we're going to click on remove duplicates. So peradventure we have any duplicate data in our data is going to be removed. So we've done that. And the next thing I want us to do is to do data profiling. So we are going to profile this data to ensure that it is clean and accurate. So I'm going to come to my view tab, and I'm going to say data quality. Now, so you can see this point. We have our data is going to tell us the quality of our data, how clean it is. Now you can see that all the data that we have here is 100%. We have 100% data, no errors, no empty. You just have to check for all the rows and ensure. You can see for this, you can see for this, we have for data that has empty field, you are going to see the percentage of the empty fields that you have. You are going to see the percentage of the errors that you have. So this data is clean. Let's just scroll down to ensure that we have same thing for all the data. Okay, so we have a clean data. The next thing I want to do is to do column profile. column distribution. So column distribution shows you the number of unique and distinct value that you have in a data. Now, let me explain the difference between distinct and unique when it comes to Excel. Look at this now. When it comes to Power Query, look at this now. It says we have two distinct and zero unique. So it means that the only distinct thing that we have here is yes or no. Now we did not have unique. Why? Because the yes was repeated multiple times and the no's was repeated multiple times. So it's not unique. We only have distinct, which is two. The distinct is two, yes and no. But this yes and no was repeated a lot of time, which is why we do not have a unique. Same for this. We have three distinct. If we look at our filter, these are the three distinct that we have: non-travel, travel frequently, travel rarely. So these are the three distinct that we have, and these three was repeated. We are repeated severally, which is why we don't have any unique. Same with majority of our data. Now look at the numbers. So now for this, let me explain this. For this now, you can see that we have 704 distinct. Out of that 704, only 474 was not repeated. Every other numbers here come up one or more, one or twice or three times. But there are some numbers, 474 numbers was not repeated. So that's the difference between distinct and unique. I hope you get that. And this is our column profile. It shows you like a summary of your data, the statistics of your data. So you can see that we have, for our data, we have count of 1,000, and it is important that you know that Power Query is going to profile your data based on the first 1,000. But it doesn't mean that all the work that you are doing, all the data cleaning that you are doing is not affecting all the rows. Even if you have 1,000,000 rows, it's going to affect, it's going to, all the cleaning that you're doing is going to affect all the 1,000,000 rows. But Power Query will only show you the first 1,000, which is why you see column profiling based on top 100 rows. If I decide to load all the data and I'll just click on this, then you say column profiling based on entire data set. I don't want to load the entire data set because it will take time to load. With this, you can see that this is our summary. We did not have errors, we did not have empty, we did not have none, we did not have zero. So this is our minimum, this is the minimum data, this is the maximum. This is just like a summary of your data. So that's about column profiling. So looking at our data now, our data is clean. We only need to proceed to analyze. So to proceed to analyze, you just need to come to your home tab and click on close and load. Now you are back to your Excel workbook. Now your data is clean, and the next step will be to start analyzing. If you want to analyze using Excel, the next step will be for you to start summarizing your data using pivot table. So that is it basically for data cleaning. In my subsequent video, I'm going to be trying to clean a data that is much more messy, so that we can understand the aspects of the empty and the errors. Thank you for watching this video. Please click on the like button, subscribe, so that I can make more videos. Thank you so much. Bye.